Welcome back to the Mini-Man Overland truck build. Today we're working on a new cab tilt system. The cab tilt system on the MAN 8136 and 81150 uses torsion bars, and one in particular is prone to failure, so much so that they're difficult to get now. I believe there's two. I believe they're both the same, but they're just, one's flipped that way, one's flipped the other way. Now we can't find the left hand which we need, but we can find a right hand, and as I said, I think it's the same, so we could buy that for £1,000 from what we can find. So we're going to stick a hydraulic ram system on the truck. Now I've bought this ram. It's a used one. It was about £65, came from eBay. This is from an Iveco Euro Cargo. I'm not familiar with the models. The information I got is E15, maybe E17, whether that's a different model. We've also got this cab pump, hydraulic pump. Now this is quite generic. Lots of trucks use this. I have one of these on my Tilda, but I'm sure there's lots of other trucks that use this. So I think maybe even the Euro Cargo might. You can get these for between £1,600. They're not a lot of money. And it contains a reservoir as well. It's done screws cap. Got up and down. This one's a single action. Some of them are double action. So that means it will lift. Your cab will be lifting up on the upstroke and downstroke. I believe this one's a single action. And then we also have this mounting bracket. Now this is also from the Iveco Euro Cargo, and it goes with this ram. Now I bought this because it's £30. It is certainly more economical to buy this because I know it works with this ram than it is for me to try and make one. So that's just a case of drilling 4 holes and mounting that in the correct location. So the only thing I really need to do is to work out mounting points and then build a bracket for the top point, and then need to get some hydraulic lines made up, run those, and that'll be the job done. So the hardest part about all of this, and it's not hard, is just working out which points are going to work. Now obviously we can't mount it horizontal because you're just going to, as you pump it, you're going to break your mounts. It needs to be, you need quite a large degree of tilt in order for the cab tilt to activate. I'm sure you understand what I mean. So looking at looking at ideal mounts, this bracket is kind of a low slung bracket, so I can put this down the bottom of the chassis member, and I'm going another 2 inches below that, so that can sit nice and low. And then under the cab, the mounting points kind of sit about there. So that's quite a nice angle. That's going to allow that to tilt nice and easy. So I need to get on with it. The bracket I need to mount the ram to the underside of the cab, I'm going to make from some scrap material here. It's good to recycle. No point buying something if I've got some steel laying around. So I'm going to cut this up and make myself a bracket. So I have that big bit of steel head I've made. I'll just cut these out, 2 pieces. So that piece is going to sit up onto the chassis, and then I'm going to drill a hole through here, put a piece of bar through, which is where the ram is going to attach. And then we'll have a split pin in each end of the steel rod. So I need to weld these two together. Now it's quite a chunky bit of steel, we don't need all of that, so I'm going to remove some fat and just take a slice out of that. It's quite nice having your metal not moving about. I've got some magnets stuck to this piece of steel here, so I can just stick those on and work on them. Makes it quite easy and quick. So from those rusty old bits of metal, we now have this. It's clamped together with a G-clamp. Now it's time to weld it. This pin will go into there. We'll have a split pin. You still need to drill a hole, 2 holes through here. Split pin will secure it. And then the ram obviously attaches to that. And this mounts to the chassis. So I was just going to weld it now. I still need to give it a clean up before I paint it. But we'll want to fit it first, just do a dry fit and then make any modifications and then paint it. So I can weld that now. Bracket's all welded up, it's very hot at the moment. I'm going to drill some holes in for the bolts to bolt it to the bottom of the cab, and then I'm probably going to give it a clean up and paint it. Next, I need to drill some holes through this and then give it a clean up. A slight change of plan. I welded some material on the end of this, so no need for a slip in there. I've just filed a flat on this end and drill a hole, and then that slip pin will go in there, and that will secure that pin nicely. So the final piece of the puzzle is to weld on another piece of material to form a C section. Now obviously I did start with a C section, just like this one here, but it was 3mm too narrow to go over the profile on the truck. So I'm going to be welding this piece of material here to reform a C section. Now I've just cut this block of wood 71mm to form a spacer. 71mm is the profile on the truck. So I can position that there and weld that on, and then I can bolt straight through the section of the truck and onto here, and that should be nice and strong. So I've now drilled the holes which are going to secure this to the truck. So the profile of the truck is here. One last piece of the puzzle. Decided I'm going to mount this pump. I need a new bracket, so I'm going to use a bit of T-section, aluminium. That fits on there quite nicely, and then to attach that to the truck, going to weld another bit of aluminium, which was a T-section, to the bottom, and I can bolt through there once it's welded up. And then that's going to sit on top of a part of the chassis like that. And then it's just a case of connecting up the hydraulic lines and it should work. Bracket complete, mounted. Only thing left to do is to position it and then drill the holes in the base, and then I might paint it black, and that can be mounted ready for the hydraulic lines to be connected. So the ram's pretty much finished, brackets all made. So you put a couple of other holes down in that bracket down there. Only 2 bolts in at the moment. I've made up some spacers so we kind of mount this, mount the ram in a kind of central position rather than allowing it to slot back and forward. So that's it. This steel's a bit thicker than I was expecting, which is good. It's not bulged up yet, they're just sitting in there, but it's nice and solid. It's going to be good. Now I need to take it off, paint brackets, ram all painted. Now I've just covered the holes I've drilled, bare steel, painted those, just to prevent any rust. Same down in the bracket. It's only bare steel has now been painted. So the time has come to fit all the parts together. I fitted the lower bracket. Here. Now I'm going to fit this big bracket up on the top there, and then the ram can go on. So then drill some holes for the cab ram pump, and that's it, complete, except for hydraulic hoses.